Alright guys, what's going on? This is Otis here, and today's guide and commentary is about how to use the Igla and the Stinger to get some kills, because it's definitely the hardest weapon to get your mastery dog tags in, and it's very underutilized in the game, at least in my personal opinion, because typically what you'll be seeing is people using the engineers, and right when they get the javelin unlocked, they'll use that, or they'll just use the RPGs and the smalls. So I'm going to show you some tips and some hints on how to effectively use the Stinger and the Igla. Now in this clip here, you're going to see the helicopter pilot flying below radar. And if the helicopter pilots have below radar, it's going to be almost impossible for you to kill them if they have ECM and if there's a second gunner especially. And so it's something you definitely have to watch out for and keep in mind when you're also using the Stinger and the Igla. Alright, and there's usually three different types of tactics that I like doing. The first one is usually when I'm on Karg or Caspian, I like to actually get in the Jeep right away and start driving towards the enemy spawn. What this usually enables me to do is usually in the beginning of the game, the helicopters will start fighting each other. And so typically what you're going to want to do is you're going to wait for the helicopters to start fighting each other. And then you're going to want to wait for the enemy helicopter to dump the ECM and flares or double flares that it has and get hit. The important thing is getting hit too, because if you end up shooting, you're going to disable the helicopter, and then the other helicopter that's on your team is going to shoot their missiles and end up stealing your kill. It's something you definitely have to get used to and start working on, because you'll get a lot of vehicle disables and a lot of vehicles destroyed, but you won't get a lot of kills. You have to watch out for that. You will get kill-jacked a lot of the times. And so what you want to do is you want to wait for them to use their flares, use their ECM, get hit once or twice, or usually when I like to shoot is when they start to smoke, because when they start to smoke they're usually below 80%, and the Stingers take typically about 80% of their health away. Sometimes, most of the time at least, they take about 80% away. Alright, your next tactic is getting on a high point of the map and just pretty much waiting for the helicopter to come. You can use your teammates to tell you where your helicopters are, and hopefully they'll typically be around the point you're trying to capture, if it's on conquest or not. Another tactic I like doing also is if there's multiple jets in the air, if you have two for your team and two for the other team flying, if you have jet pilots who are in your squad talking, tell that jet pilot to do that circle around you instead of circling towards one of the enemy spawns or your spawn. Tell them to fly over you, because you'll be able to get the lock on to them, and you'll either be able to disable them, kill them, or you'll be able to break off that dogfight to where your squad mate who's in the plane can get behind that other enemy plane and kill them, to where you necessarily won't get the kill, but you'll overall will be helping your team tremendously that way. And so those are my little tactics that I like using with the Stinger and the Igla. It definitely just takes a lot of time getting used to. You almost maybe even want to Gulf of Omen is where I get the most of my Stinger kills from. I typically usually average about 5 or 6. For the Hueys also, you have to be careful, because after one hit it'll take about, I think it's like 40% away, and then the second hit you get a disable. So you technically need 3 hits on the Huey to take it down to the sport helicopters. So that's something you got to watch out too. Another tactic too, don't try to take out planes by yourself with the Stingers. They'll just be flying over you doing strafing runs, and you'll never get a kill unless the pilot has a half a brain, which it's very rare that will happen. But hopefully these tactics help you out, and good luck getting your Stinger and your Igla kills. And hopefully this guy's helped you out.